Watershed Voice, community-supported journalism. Welcome to Good Grief. I'm Aundrea, Sayrie. This is a space for honest conversations about loss, healing, and what it means to move forward without leaving love behind. Thank you for spending the next few minutes with me. Let's grow through grief together. Grief is the natural, emotionally painful response to a significant loss. Simple by definition, but I have found the experience of navigating grief to be far more complicated than that. It is a thief of time, of joy, of identity, of control. Its impact is mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. Although most often associated with death, grief can also be found woven into the transitions that separate one season of life from another. Job loss, chronic illness, heartbreak, lost dreams, and major life changes. Before experiencing profound grief myself, I assumed grief was primarily sadness. What I did not expect was how thoroughly grief could alter a person. I did not expect it to affect my concentration, my patience, my energy, my relationships, my faith, my sense of identity. I did not expect grief to become something I carried into grocery stores, work meetings, holidays, ordinary conversations, and quiet moments alone. Grief was not simply something I felt. It became something I lived through. Perhaps one of the greatest misconceptions about grief is the belief that it can be neatly contained. We search for timelines, definitions, stages, rules. We ask how long it will last and when life will feel normal again. Not because we are weak, but because uncertainty is uncomfortable. The hope is that if grief has a formula, then perhaps we can solve it. If it has a timeline, perhaps we can survive it. If there is a finish line, perhaps we can start moving toward it. But grief rarely cooperates with our expectations. There is no all-encompassing definition, no guaranteed order of stages, no universal timeline. Grief is unpredictable and immeasurable. Everything about grief is uncertain and uncomfortable, forcing people to search for rules in hopes of finding an ending. But in truth, while there may be changes in intensity, grief does not simply end. Love does not disappear. Loss does not unhappen. What changes is our capacity to carry it. Knowing now that there is no getting over it and that I am forever changed, I have learned to stop apologizing for who I no longer am, for how I no longer show up, for the things I can no longer carry. I have learned to value the people who stayed through my darkest hours, saw goodness in me when I could not see it in myself, and reminded me that I still had value, even while struggling. Grief is one of the hardest battles many people will ever face. And while avoidance may seem easier, healing rarely happens through delaying the process. There is immense value in acknowledging grief, making space for it, and processing it rather than spending years trying to outrun it. Grief is not something we overcome, but learn to carry. Not perfectly, not gracefully, not all at once, but little by little, we build the capacity to hold both love and loss in the same heart. And somewhere in between the two, breathing becomes easier again. Until we meet again, may you find moments of peace, even in the midst of grief. This is Good Grief with Aundrea Sayrie.